Hi, this is Nick Williams, and I'm sitting here with Callie Burnett. Hi, Callie.
Hello, Nick. How are you?
Great, great. I've known Callie for, I don't know, we've known each other about 10 years, haven't we?
A bit more,
Like
yeah,
that.
just
even more than that.
Yes.
Wow. So our paths have been crossing, and I'm thrilled that you are now a published author.
Yes,
Your first
at long
book,
last, yes.
Don't Give Up Your Day Job, is out now. And I've asked Callie to come and give a talk for us on April the 14th called Don't Give Up Your Day Job. So I'm just asking Callie really what you're going to be talking about. Well, firstly, who's it aimed at?
Okay, this talk is aimed at people with a day job, who perhaps want to try something else or gradually transition into their own business or a creative venture, or maybe they just, sometimes it's just about resurrecting a hobby and sort of having a nice life outside your day job.
Yeah. So do you find that a lot of people have I certainly do, a kind of all or nothing approach, which is, well, you know, I don't like my job at the moment, but one day it's all going to be different. Is that partly who it's aimed at, people that think they have to kind of make it all different one day and don't do anything in the short term?
Yeah, I mean, one of the first chapters in the book is called It's Not All or Nothing, because we do tend to think that, well, if it wasn't for the job, I'd be okay, if only I could give up my job, and for most people the only way to do that is winning the lottery, you know, it's like to have that, you know, that much time and enough money coming in. Most people don't win the lottery, so yeah, it's really about, well, how can you get going on something that you want to do, or put in the groundwork for a business, or explore something while doing your day job, and how to find time to do a bit of both. Yeah, and get fulfilment around what you have to do alongside what you want to do. Right.
Yeah, because I certainly notice, I don't know whether you do, but I kind of I'm a lot of blogs and I comment on things, and a lot of people say, yeah, but it's needs versus must, and so, you know, a lot of people seem to have a dream, but they say, but yeah, I've got to do this in the day, so I can't do anything. And really what you're doing is busting through that and saying, actually, you can invest time and energy and sometimes money in building something whilst you're still in a full-time job. Is that right?
Yeah, and often, you know, when we're young, we tend to have dreams. We want to be a rock star or a music journalist or sell jewellery or something. And then what happens for most people in daily life is, you know, we find ourselves in a job 10, 15 years go by, we're an accountant, a computer programmer, a solicitor, and we never intend to do it in the first place. And it is, at that point, you have bills and mortgages and school fees and stuff to match the salary you're earning. So it does feel impossible to suddenly, I don't know, become a music journalist. So my take is, well, yeah, it might be unrealistic to give it all up and become a music journalist, but how can you get a flavour of that? How can you, you know, resurrect some music in your life or do a bit of writing on the side? You know, so sometimes, yeah, you might not get to do what that dream was when you were young, but you can certainly get a piece of it, alongside what you have to do and what you're good at.
So it sounds a lot about kind of taking little steps in new directions.
Yeah, and what I find, I mean, sometimes I call it sort of plan B on the side, because, you know, sometimes people do have part-time ventures and over time it becomes their full-time sort of occupation. These days, I know I've had emails from people who follow my work and they say, you know, I'm so glad I started up this little venture, you know, doing translations on the side, because now I've been made redundant. And my colleagues are jealous of me because I've got this other, I've got, you know, the basis of something already. So,
So you're going to be talking for about 90 minutes. I'll probably do a little bit of input, but you'll be doing most of it. So what are people going to get from listening to you for 90 minutes? What kind of ideas or insights or suggestions are they going to get?
Okay. We're going to do a session where we just clarify what it is you'd like to do. Now, some people are going to come along knowing, oh, I really want to be a music journalist 20 years ago, how do I get to do that? And a lot of people say, well, I don't know what I want, or I'm going to sort of tease a dream out of you and sort of get the courage, just this think, well, what would I really love to do if it were possible? And then we're going to brainstorm ways to get started on that. So I look at, well, what would you need to have sort of get going in your life to be able to do that, or get a flavour of it, or a substitute version of it in some way. And I also talk about, because obviously time is a big factor, so a lot of the work I do is also around time management. So we also look at, well, what would I need to let go of? What's getting in the way of that? What's some things I could let go of? You know, we all wear different hats in life, we have different roles. And sometimes to make time for something you want to do, you need to let go of something actually you don't want to do that much, or you know, sort of one of the roles you might play.
The
shoulds and the oughts. So we'll have a look at that. And we'll also, I've got an IT background, so I always like to sort of break down into sort of small steps logistics. So people always come away with something they can start to do right now. And it might be that, you know, the first step on your action plan is, well, actually I've got to pay off, you know, a couple of grand in debt first off my credit card before I feel free to take a course. So So I say, well, let's put that as part of the plan, rather than thinking, I can never do this because I've got credit card debt. Well, let's put the credit card debt in the plan and make that the thing you go away and tackle on day
So
one.
it's challenging the can't do it and the reasons why not, and looking at how you could move forward. So you're busting through people's excuses and fears to some extent.
Yeah, a lot about fear. Yeah, and a lot around, you know, your head and your heart, because our head tells us one thing and our heart is bursting to do something else. So yeah, I you know, believe in getting the two negotiating, because you know, there is a way you can keep the head and the heart happy, and look at the fears of the head and see what can be done about it, and reassure it that you know, there's a way that we'll be happy with.
So it's not about taking mad big leaps, it's about, you know, reasoned, thought through actions.
Yeah, basically,
courageous actions.
Yeah, because for most people, giving up the day job in one hit doesn't work. Now there's a few that have made it work, but on the whole, it's not a good plan, and the fear creeps in, and you know, and work has great advantages. Work gives you discipline, it gives you a network, it gives you a sense of identity, and it does give you money. It gives you lots of which you can invest in yourself for something you'd rather be doing in the future. So you know, it's not the day job, because there's a lot of value in it.
Yeah, very much so. And just briefly, you know, just let people know your background, because you followed this path of not giving up your day job, haven't you? So what's been your background?
Well, my background. You know, firm believer in following my dreams, as Nick says, I'm a published author now, but this book has been several years in the making. So my background was I did a music degree, but then I became a chartered accountant, investment banker, IT programmer. So yeah, all the sort of day job stuff I never ever intended to do. But then over the years I have managed to do a bit of both. So I started writing and creative writing, and I wrote a novel which isn't published, but that was a great sort of step on the way to now being published. And over the last few years I've been running a coaching business on the side, and I do coaching and corporate training around time management. Many years ago I used to come to your workshops, and they can be really inspiring. You just think, I want to do what Nick's doing, you know, and I am.
Your version of what I do.
And I'm doing my version of that, so I do my own workshops and talks, you know, and again, you know, being on your programme this month is that's a great dream come true for me. And so a real thrust of what I will say is it doesn't matter how long it takes to fulfil your dreams, but it matters that you start, and it matters that you continue.
Keep going.
So my dreams have been several years in the making, and it's just plodding along, persistence, you know, learning, and just picking yourself up and keep going, really.
Brilliant. So it's April the 14th, International Students' House. Everyone coming will get a free copy of your book, and you will probably sign it for them.
I'll sign it, yeah, very happily sign it, yeah.
I'm thrilled to sign it. It's free to our members, and it's £20 for a ticket and the book if you're not a member of ours. So thank you very much indeed for watching this. Hopefully see you there.
Yes, see you there. Thank you.
Bye-bye.